Hello, Senior Stoner fans. It's the real Senior Stoner back at you for your Carta 2 and Stizzy Diamonds. Diamond Dab of the Day. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining me. As always, when you enjoyed today's video, you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button, send a like, and I'm going to reply to every comment. Let's get started with today's topic. How many of you out there tell lies every day? How many of you out there do it automatically? You're just a person that is afraid to tell the truth. How do you stop lying? There are so many of us out there, whether it's for business, you're in sales, whatever, you lie throughout the day. You say hello to somebody, the next sentence you say is a lie. There probably is not a person alive who hasn't told a lie at some point. But lying is a very destructive behavior, and it can complicate and really ruin relationships. Regular lying even causes problems for yourself. A person who feels the need to lie certainly is not being honest with themselves or with their own feelings. So it's kind of a rift or a separation in the authenticity that we have when we lie that causes stress and anxiety, because liars worry over the perceptions of others and they worry about maintaining the lie. But does lying make you a bad person? Of course not. People are going to rarely admit the times when they've been dishonest. Lying's even seen as socially acceptable for a lot of people. Who hasn't told a white lie to protect someone's feelings or even escape an obligation? But those lies all have unintended and sometimes very severe consequences. Breaking the habit of lying is extremely difficult, especially if it's something that you've been doing for a long time. But it can be done. Sidebar. There's a very, very successful salesperson and successful executive. Sometimes I had to shade the truth, which means I had to lie. But let's talk about how you break that habit. Well, you got to understand why you're lying first. The key to solving any problem is understand the cause of the problem. You need to know why you're lying. And then once you understand the why, we can employ strategies or even get help to help reduce that behavior and overcome the habit of lying. What was the lie? We've got to detail out what the lie was. What type of lie was it? Was it by omission? Was it an exaggeration, a white lie for personal benefit, to avoid pain or discomfort? Who did you lie to? Is it a specific person, or are you regularly lying everything out of your mouth? And how serious was the lie? Was it a white lie, or was it something more serious? And what did you hope to gain? You got to understand what you hope to gain by lying. You also need to know the circumstances surrounding the lie. Is it about work? Is it about home? Is it a social situation? Once we answer those questions, we're going to be able to identify the reason we told the lie. Then we can look at what are called patterns within those reasons. Maybe we had to lie to boss because they're unreasonable. They're awful. They don't even accept the truth. Perhaps we feel inadequate compared to other people in our social circle, so we make stuff up about ourselves to feel like we're on their level. But what if there aren't identifiable reasons? In some cases, lying may be subconscious and just a survival mechanism. Lying for survival. Lying can become a habit if it's something that's done regularly for the sake of survival. And it can start at a very young age. For a child who's born into an abusive family dynamic, as a young kid, all I did was lie. As an adolescent, all I did was lie because I didn't want to get beaten. So children that grow up in domineering, excessively strict, and unreasonable parental situations often find they need to lie to avoid being harmed or unfairly punished. But that habit can continue into adult relationships where circumstance may subconsciously touch those feelings or the anxiousness or the trauma that they were trying to avoid. You see, a person trapped in an abusive relationship is also going to develop lying for survival. A lie can save one from being harmed, for telling the truth, to violating whatever controlling thing the abuser's trying to enforce. Lying may be the matter of literally life or death for an abused person. But unfortunately, lying as a survival skill is a habit that needs to be unmade because it is going to destroy every healthy relationship that's out there. Think about compulsive lying. Compulsive behavior is repetitive, persistent, and doesn't provide tangible benefit or reward. A person who compulsively lies about things that don't make sense may be experiencing other mental health issues that are manifesting through the behavior. So a pathological liar is typically going to lie for personal gain in some way. They may lie to make themselves look better, more elevated than they really are. Pathological lying for deception, very common. Compulsive lies don't necessarily make tangible sense even. They lie about everything. Compulsive lying is a very hard hurdle to overcome without professional help because it comes from a deeper problem that needs to be resolved first. So do we need to admit the problem to somebody we trust? Somebody will help us or hold us accountable? Being more honest, the first step to no lying is to admit there's a problem. Admit it to somebody close to you. Find out if they'll be willing to help you. You want to have what's called an accountability partner who can help you stay on the right track when you're working through the issue. Set some boundaries that are realistic because boundaries are important. They teach other people how they can treat you and what to expect from you. We shouldn't need to lie to save the feelings of others. That includes lying to get out of duties that will stretch us too thin, overwhelming us with work, or being agreeable to avoid conflict. Setting and enforcing healthy boundaries takes away the need to appease and lie to others about our own needs and expectations. And maybe we just need to zip it. Take a few seconds, take a breath, and think about your reply to people before you speak. There's nothing wrong with taking a few seconds to pause and think about what you want to say before you say it. God gave us two of these and one of these for a reason. That little break of time can allow us to defeat the lie before we speak it and save ourselves from needing to correct the lie later on. A habitual liar is probably going to find that a lie escapes them before they even have an opportunity to think about it. The person that lies by omission or exaggeration may need to take some time to examine what they want to say and how to say it. Admit to a lie when you tell one and offer the truth. A person who's been reflexively lying for a long time is still going to lie from reflex. When it happens, own it. Apologize. Admit we lied and correct it for the record. Yes, it's going to feel scary and intimidating, but it's going to help you through the relationship with whatever that person is that you're dealing with. And quality people respect honesty and push for self-improvement. And repeat what we just did. Repetition. Repetition. It helps take apart and it helps build habits. By admitting to the lies told, correcting them with the truth, and carefully considering our next words, we can create a new habit of honesty. We need to just commit ourselves to the truth and integrity. Developing ourselves into honest people of integrity is uncomfortable, but the benefits of honesty outweigh the pain. People who are uncovered as liars lose their credibility. There are drastic, long-term, bad consequences in their relationships and life. Emotionally healthy people don't want to spend their time around dishonest people. It's a part of healthy boundary setting. It's going to take time. It's going to take a little effort. But the habit of lying can change. And if we find ourselves having a hard time getting to the bottom of why we lie, guess what? Contact a professional. Go online, find a therapist online, on Zoom, find one in person, talk to a valued friend. Remember, lying is not good. It's critically important that we identify what makes us lie and how we can do less of it. This has been the Real Senior Stoner. Let's take our Carta 2 diamond dab. Maybe we can make some of the pain go away. We must have the mailman out front. Shoogie's barking. It's okay, Shoogie. It's okay, honey. Good girl. The very, very best poodle in the world. The best animal. Someone's by my door, that's why she's acting like that. And now that person is gone, and she won't act like that anymore. See? We're going out at 425 degrees on our Carta 2 with Stizzy diamonds loaded. The dab train's coming. I want to thank you all for joining me. You know what to do when you enjoy the video. Hit that subscribe button, send a like, and I respond to all the comments. Cheers, everybody. So I'll find ways to lie less. Have a great one, and thanks for joining the Real Senior Stoner. Cheers.